So in this tab, we are going to learn how to do decimal formatting. Here is a database of certain cities from A to Z, wherein the male population and the female population have been tabulated in two different columns. All the values are in millions, and as you see, zero point 0.1 million is nothing else but 100,000. So even zero point 0.1 is missed out. It means missing out 100,000 numbers. So it is a big deal. So now let us go and choose how to do the decimal formatting. So I choose the database here and go to home. Here are two options here. I can either increase the decimal or I can choose to reduce the decimal. Now if you see in the database, we have the values right from one decimal after one digit after the decimal up to multiple digits after the decimal. So let us make it uniform. I opt first to remove all the decimals. Now there are no digits after decimal, and then I choose to retain it up to two decimal places here. So in this way, the text here, or the not the text, actually the cells here with the numerical format have been redefined with the decimal formatting, and this is how one can choose to make the decimal formatting uniform all across the database by choosing the database. Now friends, you have seen that few of the cells here, which I am highlighting right now, have not been converted or not have been shifted into the decimal format because those are not in numerical format, and since they are not in numerical format, they do not obey the formatting of the decimals or the places after decimals. So let's go to the next step and learn what is text and what is number format and how do they work. So let us see here in this tab what are the formats as text and number. So if you see, this cell typically is a text format. I can make out because first thing, the text formats are always left aligned while the numerical formats are always right aligned. Now there are certain cases wherein we see apostrophe here. This is a way of converting a numerical format into a text format. If at all I opt to remove this apostrophe, it gets converted into number format. But this is not very much advisable because when the database is too huge, thousands of rows and hundreds of columns, it becomes practically impossible for human being to manually change the format from text to number or number to text. So how do we do that? There are multiple ways of doing it. Let me show you one by one a few of the ways. So this was a city and that was city A. In certain formatting earlier, I think I made a mistake of rewriting the text. So I have made it correct now. Now I am choosing this database and now I wish to convert it into number. I can do it by choosing the number format here, and there it is. As soon as I choose it to be a number format, most of the cells have got converted from text to number, but not all. If you see, this text have not changed to number format. Then how can one opt, or how can one find out a way of converting this text format into a number format? There are multiple ways. I already showed you one way. Another way here is, say, Control Z. Another way is opting out or making it a numerical format. Now let me tell you one thing. If at all one goes here and tries to do sum of these two cells, one can see the sum here at the lowermost corner here. It is 29.587, which is not the correct sum because here I have opted to choose one numerical format cell and one text format cell. So by default the sum does not happen here and it gives me a error answer with a mistake as 29.587, which is not correct. So now it is essential to convert this text into number so that all the operations on the numerical format can be performed on these cells also. How do I do that? Let me explain you. So any text format cell multiplied with a number format cell leads to a product answer which is by default a numerical format cell. So I'm going to use this characteristics to convert all these text formats into number format. So let me type 1 here. By default this is a number format. It has got right aligned and it is number. So now When it is opted, I'm going to choose it. I'm going to say Control C. Once done Control C, I have copied it. What I'm going to do here is now choose the database here. When I have chosen database, now I'm going to go to this option and say paste special. Sorry, I went to a wrong place. It should be right click over here and say paste special. This dialog box appears here. There's another way of doing it. I can say Control Alt V and the dialog box for paste special appears here. Once I'm into the paste special dialog box, I see the options here of operations. So I can conduct operations as none, add, subtract, multiply and divide. So whatever I have copied right now can be paste special as an operation onto the cells which are now selected by me. So here I'm going to use the multiply operation. So I'm going to multiply each cell here by the paste special utility, and since I'm multiplying by 1, the value of the cell is going to remain the same because anything multiplied by 1 remains the same as far as the value is concerned. So here I'm going to say multiply and say OK. Once I do this multiplication, you can easily make out now all these cells have got converted into numerical format, and there it is. So none of them are text now. So if I opt to sum of these two cells, here it is. I see the sum as 66.1368. So friends, this is how one can choose to change the numerical format from the text format, and that is how it is. So I highlighted those two cells in bold for you to realize that those two cells are now in number format. Let us go to the next sheet and learn something new. In this sheet, we are going to study how to convert into percentage format. So I'm just quoting the same example from the previous tab, wherein the male and the female population are quoted in each column, and the ratio of this female to male population is shown or calculated here in column E. So now if you see, though the second cell here is a text format, the ratio of the text format cell to a numerical format cell again turns out to be into numerical format. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to change the decimal formatting, and there are only 3 digits after decimal now. That is what I have written. So orally one can easily say the female to male ratio here is nothing else but 69.5%. So now how can we choose the percent format? Let us choose all these cells. The easiest way is to go and click here onto percent format, and it will get converted into percent. The percentage style can also be chosen through Ctrl Shift percent keys on the keyboard. Next way is choosing the percent format from here, and one can choose the percent format, and there it is, it got converted into percent format. So I have explained you 3 ways of converting the numericals into percentage format. Now let me explain you another way, which is a different way of converting it into percentage format. Here I'm going to use the same tactic which we used in our earlier tab. Here I'm going to say 1, enter. I'm going to choose it, and I'm going to convert it into percent format. As soon as I say percent, it becomes 100%. I'm going to say Control C, and I'm going to choose the database for which I want to convert the format into percentage format. I will say Alt Control Alt V. Sorry, let me choose the format again. Cells again. I say Control Alt V, and there is paste special. Here I'm going to use the multiply operand again, and in this case what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert the ratio into percentage format by multiplication of this 1%. So 1% when multiplied, that is 100, as seen on the screen, is nothing else but multiplication of a numerical cell with another numerical cell, and that leads to formatting, which is a percent format as seen on the screen. So I have changed the indent. I have gone up to 2 decimal places after the decimal point, and there it is. Now I see everything converted into percentage format, and this is how I have explained you 4 ways of converting the format to percentage format. Let us go to the next tab and learn something new there. Now here in this cell or in this sheet, we are going to learn how to highlight blank cells, how to change their format, how to change the content of them, and this can be done in a single go by using the tricks or the formats in Excel. Now friends, as you see, this is a very small database here on your screen. This is only for demo purpose, but there are databases which run up to thousands of rows and thousands of columns. In that case, it is not physically possible for the person or the operator to manually select the blank cells and find out which are the blank cells. So as you see on the screen, I have highlighted the three blank cells. E7, C9 and D12 are all blank cells. Now let me go over here and choose how to find out the blank cells. So this is the data range I have chosen. I go to function F5. Once done, I go to the special tab, and here it is on go to special tabs. I have multiple options of selecting the cells. So like comments, constant, formulas, blanks, current region and blah blah. But in this case I'm interested in finding out the blank cells, so I choose blank and say OK. So here they are, all the three blank cells are highlighted here. Now if I choose to change the format of these blank cells, I can choose by selecting or filling a proper color of my choice. I can also go, I will say, to the first cell, that is E7, which is active right now. I'll say BLANK, that is what I typed. Now if I opt to choose control and enter, all these cells will be filled with the same text. All the blank cells have been filled in with the text blank. This is how one can opt to choose the blank cells and fill in the blank cells with a text or with a formatting as per the requirement. I say Control Z, and now I'll show you another way of filling in the format. So here I go to Control H, that is what we already used. We have used how to find and replace certain things. There it is. I'm going to remove this. Now find what I want to find out the blank cells and replace with what is, say, text, text. See what I am typing. When I say replace all, there it is. All the text in the blank cells have been filled with, or rather all cells have been filled with the text text in all the blank cells. This is how one can opt to fill in format or text as per the choice in the blank format. Here one can also choose, instead of saying replace with text, one can say replace with certain format. Say format, one can choose number, alignment, font, border and fill. I am choosing fill with a blue color and I say OK. When I say replace all, here it won't do that because already the formatting has been done and the same formatting cannot be overwritten. So in that case one will have to reopen the file and redo the thing if one has to change the format here, right? So friends, this is how one can opt to change the to highlight or identify the blank cells, to change the format, to enter text into that, and that is how it will be. Now how can one remove the blank cells? Let us find out those things. So I say Control Z, I go back to the beginning of this cell sheet. I choose these things, say control, so another function F5, I go to special, choose blank cells, say OK, and once done, now if I don't require to retain this rows here, for example, Anand has not appeared for the biology exam, Anil has not appeared for the maths exam, and Andy has not appeared for the science exam. So if I want to say that they disqualify for the passing in this year, I need to remove the rows of these three gentlemen. So how can I do that? Now inserting a row or inserting a cell is possible by pressing Ctrl plus. Here one can choose shift cells right, shift cells down, entire row and entire column. So this is the way of inserting things when one can do insertion by choosing these blank cells, or one can choose control minus and delete the possible cells, rows or columns as you go. So now in this case I want to delete all the rows, so I say entire row, and when I say OK, you can see all the three rows which were having blank cells within themselves have been deleted and subsequent rows have been shifted above. This is how one can remove blank cells or rows containing the blank cells. I have demonstrated how the rows can be removed of the blank cells.